claustrophobic, but I got my Xanax. I'm fine.
Not too there we go. It's okay. Well,
I'm fine.
we can always get rid of the table.
No, I'm fine. How are you?
Good.
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 All right.
Good. I think we should start by introducing our two fabulous Pinot Noir winemakers. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves and say, you know, basically the 10 most important words to describe why you should buy the Pinot.
Well, some of the 10, but my name is Mike Brugale. I work for Kenneth Fulton Vineyards. I've been with Ken since 2006 and play a role in general management and winemaking. So I serve as winemaker general manager under Ken's wing. And Ken serves as the president and director of all things grape. So he's still very much involved in the business, not to confuse you here, but we make a number of different Pinot Noirs every year, primarily from Santa Barbara County. We do have one vineyard up near Mount Harlan in San Benito County for Pinot Noir. Otherwise, we make about 22 other varieties from as far north as Hollister and as far south as Santa Barbara. The wine you have in front of you now is our 09 Gary Vineyard Pinot Noir, which was a gold medalist here. And I hope you enjoy it.
Nice. Very nice wine. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Dave Armstrong of Katie Red. I founded the company about 3 or 4 years ago. My dad was a winemaker back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. He was with Christian Brothers for 35 years. So I didn't really follow the footsteps, but about 4 years ago I returned my roots. So what you have with us today here is our 2009 Russian River. Really lovely wine. And we'll let you taste and let it sell itself.
Great, thank you. I like that whoever does that. Make sure we have wine once we chat. And Rex.
Yeah, and I have my first wine, as you know.
Yes.
Sunstone Winery and sideways author Rex Pickett present The Apostate, 2009 Merlot. I'm not joking. It's coming out in 2 months. And then I'm coming out with a wine with, I think, Van Duzer up in Willamette Valley. The new novel, Vertical, which is a sequel to Sideways, goes to Willamette Valley. So we're going to come out with Van Duzer Winery and Sideways Author present. So we're doing the Sideways Author Signature Series. Pinot Envy. It's still, we're not sure we're going to get government approval for that one.
So based on Vertical, are you also doing like a weed series?
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I know.
I'm sure some grow up in Humboldt will like.
Yeah, well, it goes up all through there, you know. So, well, actually, one of the characters in Vertical, and stop me if I'm whatever, but it's 7 years later, so it's not like a rehash. And it's Miles is now a successful author, and he's finally got his book published, and they've made a movie out of it. So now everywhere he goes, he's celebrated and feted. And Jack is, of course, divorced and on the skids. Yeah, I knew that would get a laugh. Yeah, we saw that one coming. But more importantly, Miles's mother, who you remember he took money from, whatever, which is different in the novel. She had a stroke, and this is based on something earlier in my life I won't bore you with. And she is living in assisted living and wants to be with her sister in Wisconsin. So Miles gets offered to be the master of ceremonies at the International Pinot Noir celebration in the Great Willamette Valley, a 3-day bacchanal. So he hatches his harebrained scheme, and he leases these humongous luxury handicap-equipped rat vans, housing Jack, 12 cases of wine. I was getting sent to me from Willamette Valley, and his wheelchair-dependent mother, and her drinking problem, and a pot-smoking Filipino nerdmate. So that's what she only smokes dope. She won't even, and a little Yorkie Terrier, and they head off to Oregon en route to Wisconsin. That's Vertical. It's the ultimate road novel. So I hope you're ready. It's funny, but then it turns more serious. It's not a rehash.
No.
She's my biggest fan here.
I am. I saw Sideways twice, and I was so proud.
Twice? I thought you told me they saw it 40 times. You're an amateur. I watch it every week.
You gotta see this movie, and I saw it, and then I saw it again like 2 weeks later.
Wow.
So I just still remember it. 7 years.
Did you get to see it in a big audience?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, it was really. I mean, for me, I got to see a couple early screenings of the film. Ask questions, whatever. But I got to see it in Santa Barbara. It was the first time I saw it for a large audience. It was like 1,500 people at the Arlington Theater. And admittedly, it was a pro crowd because a lot of people were involved making the film. And when you have a comedy and it's that big and it works, the laughter is so infectious. People were just jackknifing over there in the seats. You couldn't even hear dialogue sometimes, you know. Then 3 nights later, this was just a couple days before it officially opened, there was a huge buzz now. It was the closing night of the New York Film Festival at the Alice Valley Hall. 2,200 people who couldn't get a seat. That was electrifying. You know, I should have just killed myself that night, honestly. No. But, and then there was a big premiere at the Academy. Then I would see it, I'd go and check it out in the theater and watch some of it, see the audience, you know, laughing and whatever. And then you see it, and then pretty soon it's just you and the DVD a couple of years later. And it's the smaller moments, you know, that work when you see it. And I think to this day, people still remember the film in a lot of ways. And it's because it wasn't just a ha-ha comedy. It had a certain humanity